let me simply add that it's my very good honor to meet you, and you may call me...
Hey guys, Vengeful Torture here, you can call me VT, and I just wanted to bring you guys a little information on a farming route that I honestly only recently discovered for crafting materials in the Division. It takes you through about 2 to 3 weapon part locations, 4 tool locations, 4 electronics, and 3 fabric locations, and overall, it'll take you about 10 minutes to run, so it's honestly not a bad little route. It takes place in the bottom right hand of the map. As you can see here, you'll need to clear out pretty much all of the encounters and side missions so you don't get a lot of ads and different things popping up on the way, but overall there's really only about 1 or 2 groups that you need to really avoid even a little bit. You see on the later here that I have one issue with one of them, but it's not a big deal. So if you're just a little bit higher level, you know, 20 or whatever it recommends, it's not going to be a big deal. So why don't we jump right into it? We're going to take it step by step, walk it right through it so you guys can follow the route. And again, I just pretty much discovered this, so hopefully you guys can improve on it. I know there's probably some pathways I missed to make it a little quicker, but let's find out how we can make it better. So you need to fast travel right here to the Warrengate power plant, right? And our first stop is going to be this tools one. Now, there's 2 tool locations right here, and really I only hit the bottom one, if you will. I think the other one's higher up in the apartment. I haven't even looked for it, but essentially there's going to be a group of ads on your left here, so just head right up, and they'll be right down to your left on the ground floor. But you can grab these tools here and then hop on down, and I haven't had many issues with them, though usually when I fast travel I wait like a few seconds to let them sort of span out, if you will, I guess. But you know, even if they start seeing you got plenty of cover here, you don't really have to fight them. You can just sort of run away, which is sort of what you see I do here. You can start to see that they start to take notice of me. But we're going to head right to our next location, right? And so that is just a little northwest of us, these weapon parts here. And we pretty much just stick between that cover and go right in between the buildings here. And it'll take us right to the next weapon parts, really close to the next sort of complex, if you will. So here we are, this little carnival, and this one isn't too bad. I haven't really encountered any ads over here. I think I may have cleared some out, so just be on the watch for all of them. I mean, throughout all of this, you're not really gonna have many issues with ads, but you know, just in case, you know, be prepared a little bit. This next one's probably one of the trickier ones to avoid the ads. These weapon parts up here, just stick to the right, honestly. It's a little bit of not what I would say probably not the most efficient pathway. But it's still pretty quick. You can see I have some issues with the ledge there. But again, there's ads on the left there, so as long as you stay to the right, it's not going to be a problem. They won't even see you. Otherwise, if they do see you, you have 2 shotgunners you need to worry about, so you have to take them out. But in reality, you should be able to avoid them. Like I said, just stick to the right. So we're going to head to our next location, electronic parts here, and I only encountered ads here once, and you can see it was during my run right here. So they're right there, and so I recommend heading up here and heading in through the back of the electronics store, because oftentimes I find ads, either the same group or a different group, are going to be in front of the electronics store, which is where we're going to leave from. But regardless, it makes it a little easier to grab your electronics here when they're not hunting you down. So just heading through the back there, like I didn't do initially, to avoid those ads, and you won't have any issue. And then we'll head right out the front to our next location. No real issue getting here. Only time I had ads follow me here was when there were some outside of the electronics store in the front, and they followed me over. I'm not sure why they weren't there that time. Like I said, maybe they're part of the other group that I just didn't disturb them and drag them all the way through me, following me through the street. So no real issue. We're gonna head to our next place. Just moving right along. Now this next location is a little interesting. There's only 2 fabric boxes that you can grab here, and one of them has always been glitched to me. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if it's glitched for everyone else, but you can see I've tried to struggle with it here, trying to grab it again, wondering, you know, maybe it was just the time before. It's not. It's every single time. I'm not sure what the issue is. So it's kind of a bummer because there aren't many fabric locations on this run anyway. You can see I got a high end there, which is awesome. But you know, if it's glitched for you, just move right along. So we do skip this weapon parts right here because it actually is underground. It's in one of the side missions. So don't try and go down and find it because it's going to take you way out of your way, and there's some ads down there some of the time. So just avoid it, and instead we're going to head right over to the tools location, which you can see on your map, and you can see I'm headed towards right here. So again, just bypass that weapon parts unless you really need it. You can take some extra time out of your way, but it's going to add a good minute probably just to run all the way down there. So these tools are they're right down the street, they're really easy to find, so really skipping those weapon parts I think is ideal, especially since we have quite a few locations for weapon parts, and each one has 3 spots for them, so you can really get a lot of good weapon parts gathering on this run. So now we're going to make a little bit of a jog up, and it's a little bit of an inconvenience, but honestly, there's no really fast way to do it, at least not that I know of. I haven't tried running around the other way, which I probably will next time to see if it's faster, if there's any shortcuts I can take, but you can't really fast travel and get there any quicker with loading times and whatnot, so just heading up here, and if you're short on electronics, there's only 2 boxes here, so you can sort of skip it and head right to the fabric or across the street, but I mean, I think it's still worth it. Absolutely, you know, you get 3 drops from each, so you still get sort of the same amount. You know, your chances of getting a high end are probably a little lower because I think it factors into how many different boxes there are compared to how many you get in total. But anyway, we'll head right across the street here to get the fabric, and I have never encountered any ads along the way over around this area, but you will see coming up that I do encounter some, but they're not too big of an issue. So I recommend heading right out the back here, and this is this path that I take it's just what I take for fun, to be honest with you, because grinding can be a little boring. You can see it brings me all the way around the street, and you can take this street if you'd like and probably head all the way through there, but I decided to go through the building simply because, honestly, like I said, it's fun. It might be a little quicker, I'm not sure, cutting through the house in this garage here, but you know, you still have to go all around the street here. Maybe there's a shortcut that I missed to get over there, but I don't think so. And you can see this is where I run into a little bit of a snag. These enemies haven't actually come out yet because I was a little quicker. Normally they're in front of the store, and I can usually just grab the boxes and just kind of get out, like ignore them. But there's only 3 ads in here. They're not a big deal. You can see even taking my time with them, pull out my little shotgun that I got newly earlier that evening. And again, not a big deal because there's a lot of cover in here. So if you want to ignore them, you pretty much can, and you can head to the next location. Nice and easy just across the street here again, and I have encountered some ads along this way as well. Maybe they're the same ones I just did encounter, but just watch out for that. The end of this might get a little bit hairy for you, but it's not usually a big deal. Like I said, they're fairly low level, and there aren't very many of them, so. Now our second to last stop, or last stop if you prefer, are these tools right here. They're very close. You should have no issue finding them or ads nearby. And I say second to last stop because as soon as I stopped this, I did find another location, because again, I haven't found all of the locations. I haven't explored as much, so there's always room for improvement, and maybe there's better lines elsewhere. But there's another weapons location, mostly south from the location we're at right now. It's not too far, just a little bit of a jog, and I apologize, I don't have the actual route for you. But you can see it's where my character is standing right now, and it's also where my character location is, not where the waypoint is right there. So you can head down there and grab a few extra weapon parts. So thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Stick around, drop a comment, drop a like. Take it easy.